got
What do you
so many
do?
weird things. I can't
Robbie.
even begin to tell you the weird things I got.
What did you think?
I mean, by that point, I kind of felt like I knew the Joker a bit, so it wasn't as alarming. But yeah, there were many instances where I didn't know what to expect.
After years of rumors, spine-chilling stories, and whispered warnings from behind the scenes of Suicide Squad, something just shifted, because now, Margot Robbie has allegedly broken her silence, and what she said might be the most damning confirmation. Yet, according to new insider reports, Margot didn't just tiptoe around the topic of Jared Leto's disturbing on-set behavior, she addressed it head on.
This Jared Leto story that broke over the weekend, which was really, it felt, I want to say, you know, he's been accused by 9 women having inappropriate relationships with them.
And she didn't defend the chaos, she didn't downplay it, she reportedly stood with the people who spoke up and made it very clear she's done pretending everything was fine. Sources say she acknowledged the pain, called out the toxic method, acting culture, and made one thing crystal clear. This went way too far, and we all knew it.
And this has been the line on him. Everybody's known this for years and years and years, that Jared Leto allegedly likes very young girls, teach girls, and then he gets with them and he causes them a lot of pain.
Because if the lead actress, the face of Harley Quinn herself, is finally calling out what really happened, then it's not gossip anymore, it's real, and the era of artistic excuses might be about to end. Let's rewind, because these weren't just weird stories, they were nightmare fuel. From the very beginning of Suicide Squad's production, the set was buzzing with reports of Jared Leto's twisted version of method acting. But what? People originally called eccentric.
That he can get violent. There was a Law and Order SVU, and this character, it was a movie star, and it was believed to be a mashup of Shia LaBeouf, James Franco, who has since been canceled, and Jared Leto, who liked girls and was violent with them. And in this SVU, he actually killed one of them, okay?
Now sounds like pure psychological warfare. He allegedly sent Margot Robbie a dead rat as a gift. He mailed used condoms to castmates. He even reportedly delivered a live bullet to a fellow actor. And it wasn't just shock value, it was calculated. Some crew members reportedly said they felt unsafe. Others described it as walking on eggshells just to avoid being targeted for the next stunt. One production insider put it chillingly, it wasn't method acting. It was a performance of control. He wanted everyone to feel off balance.
I want to take a look at Jared's very famous Suicide Squad castmates talking about the disgusting quote unquote gifts.
Now, how about the gifts you gave everyone? Rats, bullets, a hog. Where did that come from?
Don't forget the anal beads,
Who did you send anal beads to?
the used condoms.
You did not.
Yeah. I mean, it was.
Step back, Frank. You can't just say use condoms and we're just gonna like forget.
I know it's a family show, but
Don't worry.
we can educate people here. At least they were used.
Who did you send used condoms to?
Oh, everybody. Maybe they didn't want to tell you, but no. I mean, I did a lot of things to create a dynamic, to create an element of surprise, of spontaneity, to really break down any kind of walls that may be there. I mean, the Joker is somebody who doesn't really respect things like personal space or boundaries.
There were messages left in trailers, anonymous deliveries, and moments when people allegedly refused to be alone near his dressing room. And for years, everyone brushed it off. The media called it immersive. Executives called it bold. But now, with Margot allegedly confirming how wrong it felt, that entire house of cards is starting to collapse. And then came the bombshell. According to multiple credible sources, Margot Robbie recently attended a private industry roundtable, and when the topic of on-set safety came up, she didn't hold back. She reportedly looked around the room and said, "I believe the stories. I believe the people who told them, and I wish I'd known what was really happening at the time." The room? Silent. People weren't expecting her to go there, but once she did, there was no walking it back. She allegedly talked about the tension.
Jared
Psychopath hiding in plain sight under the guise of acting.
Use condom. What do you say?
This is Will Smith.
You know, you say Jared has gone full Joker. Jared, he went full Joker.
During filming, how the set felt chaotic, how some of the cast quietly confided that they felt trapped between PR obligations and personal discomfort. And then came the bombshell. According to multiple credible sources, Margot Robbie recently attended a private industry roundtable, and when the topic of on-set safety came up, she didn't hold back. She reportedly looked around the room and said, "I believe the stories. I believe the people who told them, and I wish I'd known what was really happening at the time." The room? Silent. People weren't expecting her to go there, but once she did, there was no walking it back. She allegedly talked about the tension.
It's a number of gifts from Jared.
Okay, what he's
Some of which I don't like to talk about.
They tell me he sent people used condoms.
Yeah, he sent used condoms and
Anal beads, he said.
sticky Playboy magazines.
During filming, how the set felt chaotic, how some of the cast quietly confided that they felt trapped between PR obligations and personal discomfort. Hollywood is reacting fast. The moment Margot's alleged comments surfaced, the industry went into overdrive. Producers, agents, directors, even talent lawyers, reportedly all scrambling to reassess past collaborations. Some are stunned, others quietly relieved.
Bullets, rats, allegedly used condoms. He's saying this out loud, anal beads, and the reporter on the carpet's like, "You're joking, right?" He's like, "No, I'm not." And sticky Playboy magazines. So you're telling me that nobody in Hollywood knew about this guy, Paula?
Listen, we all knew.
Because when a star of Margot Robbie's caliber breaks ranks, it signals that the era of protecting difficult geniuses might finally be cracking. One insider reportedly said, "It takes a lead like Margot to say what no one else could. She just blew the door off something people tiptoed around for years." Now, studio meetings are reportedly turning introspective. Executives are asking, did we enable this? Casting directors are revisiting audition room horror stories. HR departments reportedly bracing for incoming fallout. And it doesn't stop there. Online fans are rewatching every Suicide Squad press junket, zooming in on facial expressions, noting who flinched when Jared's name came up, who gave side glances, who laughed awkwardly. People are connecting dots they didn't see before, because now that Margot's allegedly opened the floodgates, more voices might be coming. And once that dam breaks, it won't just be Suicide Squad under scrutiny. It'll be every Leto-led set he's ever stepped on. Let's not pretend this came out of nowhere, because Margot's alleged comments triggered a full-scale internet excavation. Almost instantly, the public and the press started digging. Old interviews, podcasts, anonymous blind items, Reddit threads that read like police files. And suddenly, a pattern started to emerge. Fans are reposting that one clip where Jared brags about staying in character as the Joker 24/7, even during lunch breaks. Others are highlighting a disturbing moment when he said, "Pain fuels him, and that chaos is part of his creative method." But now no one's applauding. Instead, people are asking, how did we excuse this for so long? There are viral TikToks listing everything Leto's been accused of over the years, from bizarre fan encounters to other co-stars quietly distancing themselves to past interviews that now feel deeply unsettling in hindsight. One resurfaced. Clip shows a visibly uncomfortable co-star dodging a question about Leto's on-set antics with a forced laugh. Another shows Jared casually mentioning he was just trying to get reactions out of people as the Joker. And it hits different now, because once you start connecting those dots, the picture that forms isn't performance art, it's a pattern of unchecked chaos, and the internet wants accountability. Now, let's talk damage control. According to multiple industry sources, Warner Brothers is in full-blown crisis mode. Not publicly, not yet, but behind closed doors, the panic is palpable. Allegedly, a company-wide internal memo was sent to communications teams just hours after Margot's alleged comments began trending. Do not comment, do not engage, do not amplify. Which of course only amplified the speculation, because if the studio had nothing to hide, why the silence? Insiders claim senior executives are holding daily status calls to monitor the backlash, and behind those calls, a growing fear that keeping Jared Leto attached to future projects is no longer worth the PR risk. Some reports suggest his name is already being quietly removed from development boards on upcoming Warner Brothers projects. Not a dramatic firing, just a slow fade out, an exit strategy in motion. And while no official announcement has been made, one former Warner producer reportedly put it bluntly: they're not going to go down with this ship. If the backlash grows, he's gone. Because the last thing Warner Brothers wants right now is to be known as the studio that protected the Joker, while Harley Quinn sounded the alarm. This is where everything shifts, because Margot didn't just make a passing comment, she took a stand loudly and unapologetically. Reports say she not only acknowledged the disturbing rumors, but actively defended the people who had the courage to speak up, many of whom had been ignored, dismissed, or quietly blacklisted for years. According to attendees at the private industry event, Margot's voice trembled when she reportedly said, "The crew who came forward showed strength. Silence isn't strength, it's fear. Let that sit for a second." She didn't deflect. She didn't hide behind polished statements or vague metaphors. She looked the elephant in the room straight in the eye and said what nobody else would. One source said the room went completely silent as she continued. She allegedly spoke about women who came to her during the Suicide Squad shoot, whispering concerns, asking for help, unsure of what to do. She reportedly told the room, "I wish I had pushed harder. I wish I had done more." Two insiders claim that since that night, Margot has been personally advocating for systemic change on film sets. She's pushing for mandatory on-set HR contacts, mental health advocates assigned per production conduct, training for A-list talent and directors, not just crew and fans. Are calling it the power move of the year. On TikTok, people are stitching clips of Margot as Harley Quinn with captions like, "She wasn't just playing the strongest woman in the room, she was the strongest woman in the room. She just went from co-star to whistleblower ally." And in an industry that often protects the powerful, that kind of courage, it changes things. Now let's talk fallout, because the question now swirling across Reddit, X, formerly Twitter, and studio boardrooms is this: is Jared Leto done? Let's be honest, his version of the Joker was divisive from day one. Fans were split, critics were harsh, and even DC quietly backed away. He hasn't been seen in the Cape and Cowl universe for years. No cameos, no sequels, just silence. Now, insiders say that silence might be permanent. A Warner Brothers source reportedly said, "We're not developing around Jared anymore. That chapter's closed, and the timing lines up. Projects once rumored to involve him, canceled. Development. Boards once listing his name, scrubbed. Casting updates, nowhere to be found." In fact, there's allegedly internal talk that even archived Suicide Squad marketing assets are being reviewed, just in case his image needs to be de-emphasized, because this isn't just a PR cleanup, it's a brand protection maneuver DC has been trying desperately to rebuild its image. Post-Aquaman flops, post-Flash controversies, post-Zack Snyder confusion. They don't need another PR disaster. Especially not one where the Joker becomes the headline for all the wrong reasons, and fans aren't surprised. They're asking, why did it take Margot Robbie to finally make this happen? Because in today's Hollywood, it doesn't matter how method you are if you're a liability, and Jared might now be seen as the biggest one of all. You feel that? That's the silence right before the storm, because now that Margot Robbie has allegedly broken ranks, people are watching, waiting, and wondering who's next. Insiders say there's already a ripple effect inside the industry. One PR rep reportedly told Variety off the record, "When a lead like Margot speaks, it gives everyone else cover." And let's not forget, Suicide Squad wasn't a two-person cast. You've got Viola Davis, Will Smith, Joel Kinnaman, Jai Courtney, even Cara Delevingne. All of them were there. All of them saw something. Now people are combing through past interviews, panel footage, Comic-Con Q&As, watching for the moments when someone hesitated, looked away, or changed the subject. Because what if Margot was just the first? What if she just cracked the dam? And if one more major name steps forward, Jared Leto won't just be canceled, he'll be erased. Here's what makes this even more powerful. Margot's not doing this from the sidelines. She's at the top of her game. Barbie broke records. She's producing, she's headlining, she's launching her own projects. So this isn't a career gamble. It's a statement. Sources close to her camp say she's now refusing to work on any film that doesn't have formal safeguards in place. She's allegedly pushing studios to create a new on-set code of conduct, and not just the kind that collects dust in onboarding packets. We're talking mental health reps, HR reps, conflict mediators, all standard, all mandatory. One exec reportedly said, Margot isn't just calling this out, she's changing how sets operate. She's done playing nice in a system that plays dirty, and for the rest of Hollywood, that's a warning, because when Barbie herself starts calling the shots, the old boys club starts to shake. For years, the stories lingered, dead rats, bullets, uncomfortable vibes, but now they're no longer rumors, because Margot Robbie allegedly confirmed what everyone was too scared to say. The behavior on that set? crossed a line, and defending the people who lived through it might be her most important role yet. Jared's Joker might be fading, but the consequences are just beginning.